Bonjour à vous tous et bienvenue à ce 60e épisode de Danganronpa Trigger et havoc. Mon nom est Ekels et j'espère que de votre côté, vous allez bien. Donc 60 épisodes, guys. 60. J'espère que vous appréciez jusqu'ici. En tout cas, si vous êtes encore là, c'est sûr que vous avez apprécié le chemin. Donc, je vous laisse sans plus tarder écouter l'épisode et je vous souhaite un bon visionnement. The Ultimate Despair, All Mankind.
Let's go back in time 2 years,
Et c'est
okay?
parti.
Back to when everyone first came to this school. School life during that first year overflowed with hope and happiness. Oh boy, it was just the worst. Everyone was enjoying themselves so much. You were all having the time of your lives.
But that couldn't last forever, of course. The peacefulness only made it through that first year. Because after that, an event unfolded that hammered a soul-crushing despair into all of humanity. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy.
Mais comment ça s'est passé, ça?
All too soon, the world's days of peace came to a bloody end. And as you can imagine, the school was no exception.
Ouais, on a
The
vu
tragedy
Danganronpa.
even made its way here, leading to the extermination of most of the students.
What are you?
What do you mean?
The most tragic event in human history, and the ultimate despair that caused it. I can't believe it's all because of just you and Mukuro. Was it some kind of organization? An angry mob? An incredibly motivated family?
You have a point. If I had to describe it, I'd say it was none of those. How can I put it? It was more of an ideological thing. Despair is contagious, you know? It's almost like a natural phenomenon. Everyone is capable of it, and now the entire world has fallen into despair.
Et puis ça nous autres à relever ça,
In
j'imagine?
other words, if you see despair as the enemy, then your enemy is the world itself.
I just don't understand why.
We didn't ask you to try to understand. This was a tangent anyway, unrelated to the matter at hand.
Okay, so let's get back to the story. Hope's Peak had taken so much damage. You guys were the only survivors. The members of the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy were the only ones left.
Puis
And
bon.
then something super neat happened. Now pay attention, because this is important, and I'm only gonna say it once. So guess what? To protect everyone who had survived, Hope's Peak was transformed into a shelter. That's right. It was transformed into a shelter. I said it twice.
Now, someone was responsible for that transformation, for creating what would eventually become your prison. Do any of you know who that might have been?
The headmaster. The one who turned Hope's into a shelter and isolated us here, c'est the headmaster.
I got it!
C'est sûr que c'est lui.
Could only have been the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. He wanted to turn the school into a shelter to try and protect us from the despair and tragedy taking place outside.
That's it.
That's why he asked us to make that promise, to say that we were willing to live in this school forever.
We believe he had something like that in mind, yes. If you, the collective hope of a new generation, could survive, maybe the world could have a fresh start.
Yeah, the headmaster put that much faith in you.
And because we had that same hope, that's why we all agreed to live here forever.
Puis twisté en maudit.
But creating the shelter was also his single biggest mistake. It's laughable, really. He was the headmaster, but he had no idea. He had no idea that we, the ultimate despair, had already made our way into the school. So what was supposed to be a shelter to keep you safe became a cage that made it impossible for you to escape despair.
En même temps, on l'a découvert, fait que ça devrait te finir, non?
I have to say, it really helped me out a lot. It saved me a ton of time.
By the way, it was you yourselves who blocked off
Oh,
the
no.
windows, the doors,
Oh, no.
all the exits.
Voyons
Under the
donc.
headmaster's direction, you all went about your work like obedient little sheep.
You mean we trapped ourselves in here?
And then you forgot all about it and started bitching about how you were trapped in here.
Once you'd finished building your little shelter, it was time for me and Mukuro to get
Wow.
to work. And thus began the killing game.
Me and Mukuro had come here, spending the last 2 years waiting for that moment.
That moment where you all began killing each other served as the climax of our global despair plan.
And the only reason you survived the tragedy was so that you could be a part of it.
You only let us live so we could go around killing each other? Is that what you're saying?
Why? Why would you
Think we
do
stay on
that?
that.
Because this was so much more than a simple high school death match. Rather, it was a method to hunt down and destroy every last remaining speck of hope in the world.
What are you saying?
Well, it would seem that there's a little bit left out there. A few souls unwilling to give up hope. So I thought I should show them, which is why
Well, why don't you tell me?
What the mastermind did to show everyone in the outside world that was... Oh no. Hangman's Gambit. A broadcast? Non, c'est pas ça. Hijack, ouais, c'est ça. C'est un H au début. Voyons. Un I, s'il vous plaît. Non! Il va prendre un J maintenant. Un A. Et voilà, that's it. This is done.
Now I understand.
Ils ont hijacké les airwaves.
You're talking about you hijacking the airwaves, aren't you?
Uh-huh. That's exactly what I'm talking about. To show the world the murders taking place at this school, which was meant to be a symbol of hope.
That was the whole point of the ultimate despair. When I said climax, that was what I was talking about. The world watched as you fell into despair and began to kill each other one after another. Despair is as contagious as any disease. Any hope left turns to despair.
Isn't the power of television just amazing? By the way, since we started broadcasting, a whole bunch of people have tried to come and rescue you.
Are you serious?
But utilizing the heavy weaponry I installed around the school grounds, I had no problem expelling them.
Oh, man.
Expelled them?
I have to thank you all. They were a relentless bunch, refusing to give up on hope and trying to force their beliefs on the world. But in the end, I was able to give them the final despair. Death.
So you just used us? To bring despair to everyone in the outside
Elle est vraiment pas
world?
bien.
Well, sure, but I also gave you a second chance at life, right? So it's like, give and take.
Give and take? You're so full of shit!
And there's a reason I chose you guys to survive when all the other students were dropping like flies. I mean, we built up 2 years of memories together. You were all my treasured classmates.
Sorry, that's a lie. I just figured you'd despair even more when you found out a friend had betrayed you.
And that's the truth, which is what you wanted, right? So, does it make you feel utterly lost and hopeless? You solved the mystery, but despair at the truth, right?
Don't tell me. Did you seriously count on the possibility that we would solve your mystery?
And if we did, then what? Our final desire for creating this world of despair was so we could experience one last class trial. If you were bold enough to solve the mystery, only to discover that the truth was utterly hopeless, how would you react? What would you do?
See? Discovering the truth doesn't necessarily lead to a sense of hope.
Truth can be full of despair, too. Like right fucking now.
Full of despair.
Not
That's...
to mention, all those motives I talked about were totally meaningless. I mean, with the world having ended and all.
Meaningless? We've been murdering each other? For nothing?
And think about it. You chose to lock yourselves up here, then started murdering each other to get out.
We weren't just random strangers either. We were classmates. We'd spent 2 years together.
No, even I can't laugh at that.
We get it, okay? You're totally awesome, right? We get it already! So help us! I'll do anything! Just help me!
A peasant begging for his life? Oh, how delightful!
É
We've
passou
never
aí,
witnessed such a
show.
travesty firsthand.
But I'm sorry to say, begging doesn't work on me. All I want is despair, and there's no reason for it. And since there's no reason, there's no argument against it. There's just no understanding it. No argument, no understanding. What better definition of ultimate despair could there be?
Wait, hold on. You've just been going on about whatever you feel like, but there's no real reason for us to believe anything you have to say.
Huh?
You say the world's fallen apart, but I haven't seen it for myself.
That's
so
it.
I don't
Let's go.
acknowledge it. I don't accept it as the truth.
Until you see it with your own eyes. Truth and falsehood overlap one another. In other words, you're not unlike Schrodinger's cat right now. Is that what you're saying? If so, what then?
Are you saying you won't accept the truth until you can go outside and see for yourself? Well, you better not. You go out into that world and you're all goners for sure. Trust me, I'm not lying about any of this.
Well, even if it's all true, I refuse to give in. I refuse to lose to you for the sake of everyone you've killed.
Huh? Everyone I've killed? What are you talking about? You're the ones who killed them.
I didn't kill anyone. I simply gave you a little nudge in the right direction.
And that's all it took for you to start killing each other. You're nothing but bloodthirsty animals.
That's why anyone was murdered here, peasant.
Say what you want about hope.
Elle change vite, là.
Despair comes naturally.
Hell yes! That's funny as shit!
No! This isn't just some game to us. It's murder! Plain and simple. You stole our memories. Invented reasons for us to do it. You pushed us all into a corner. It's all your fault!
You certainly have a talent for passing the buck, don't you? That must be your hope, huh? But we don't have much time left to keep up this banter. We have to draw things to a close soon.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the vote, of course. You didn't forget about that little rule, did you? Oh, and also, since this'll be the last vote, I decided to change the rule.
What?
You guys so full of hope, and me so full of despair. I've decided to have you vote which one will be punished. If even one of you votes to punish hope, well then, I'll consider that a win for me.
Oh boy.
Punish everyone on the side of
Mais
hope.
non.
Even if it's just one person?
Oh, but don't worry. I won't be voting, of course.
C'est bien
Even if you
chien.
don't, you've still got the upper hand in all this!
It's okay. Nobody would actually vote to kill themselves, right?
Oh, let me just mention one more thing. When I win, to punish you guys, you'll have to stay here till you grow old and die. No fighting, no killing. That's your punishment.
What?
You mean, we just...
We'd have to just live here?
She's saying she'll let us live.
If you're not happy with that, then go ahead and punish me. And make your way to the outside world.
Enter a world fallen from grace, where only despair exists, where you'd likely be dead within a day.
What are you saying? So no matter what, we're doomed.
Wait a sec! I just got hit with an inspiration. Dying of old age is boring as shit, right? The audience at home isn't gonna dig that at all. So, here's what'll happen. One of you will get to experience an instant, super impressive punishment.
What? You can't just...
Do you mean to say you'll execute one of us?
Yep.
And I get to decide who's gonna have to suck it down. Makoto, you're up.
Me?
Yeah, you've been acting up, causing all kinds of trouble. I hate you!
So let me make this clear. Everyone has two choices in front of them. If a single person votes for Hope to be punished, then only Makoto will receive a harsh punishment, and the
Mais
rest
n'importe
of
quoi.
you will live here in peace.
If, on the other hand, you desire to see us punished, then you must all leave this place.
I will force you out. ensuring you all die horrible deaths in the outside world.
What I'm saying is, if you sacrifice Makoto, the rest of you will get to live out your life.
Sacrifice me? But that's...
What? Has your resolve softened? Have you lost confidence? Are you afraid of being punished? Don't you have faith in your friend?
No, that's not it.
It's okay. You're right to be afraid. It would seem all of those around you have realized the futility of going against me.
Come on.
Guys?
It's so beautiful. Your lovely faces,
C'est pas
eroded
equal.
by despair, have come together as one.
Besides, Kyoko, you could never betray your father, could you?
What?
I mean, the headmaster's only wish was that all of you would survive, right? That's why he tried to trap you all here after all. The least you can do is try to honor your dead father's wishes.
Kyoko!
One person's despair is enough to seal your fate. Isn't that just the most hopeless outcome ever?
So, who do you think's gonna give in? Whose despair is gonna sign your death warrant?
No one. Nobody's gonna give in to despair! We're not gonna lose to you!
So boring. Stubborn till the very end, huh? Well, that's fine. Then let's just hurry up and get it over with. It's time for the final vote. Everything will come to an end. Your stupid hope and your stupid life.
Despite the final vote, this is it. The ultimate confrontation. I have to show everyone. I have to make them remember. I have to convince them not to give up, to live in despair. That's not really living at all. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? No! Ok.
We won't give up!
Oh mon dieu, regardez le nombre de trucs qu'il
As
peut
long as
avoir.
there's hope, we'll never give up!
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope's Peak Academy. By the way, the air outside is totally polluted, you know. The only reason we're okay in here is thanks to the air purifiers in the physics lab. If I die, the purifiers will screech to a halt. In other words, as soon as I die, the communal life you've all been living will come to an end.
Meh.
Moi, je préfère prendre ces points-là, sérieux.
All of you will have to leave.
Je peux pas contredire ces points-là.
You'll have to go into the world outside, where only death and despair are waiting.
Ils font juste répondre avec des points de même.
So, what are you gonna do? Will you just die? Is that what you want?
Sauf elle. Qu'est-ce que je fasse? C'est ça que je vais faire. C'est ça que je vais essayer. C'est ça que je vais essayer. C'est la seule affaire que je peux faire.
As long as there's hope, we'll never give up!
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope's Peak Academy.
Oh ouais.
Don't lose hope now!
Va falloir le faire plusieurs
My
fois.
fortune-telling senses are telling me not to leave this place. But to live means moving forward, right? So even if it's hard, even if we're scared, we don't have any choice, do we? I want to keep on living. I want to
Yes.
open the next door. There must be something new waiting for me. So that's why, no matter what, I need to get out of here. The whole fortune-telling thing doesn't matter anymore.
Yes,
what
sir.
matters is my own gut feelings.
We won't give up! As long as there's hope, we'll never give up!
If I were to die, that would be the end.
I've decided to have.
By the way, the air outside is totally the only reason is thanks to the air purifier.
Yes!
Don't lose hope
Let's
now!
go!
I've been thinking about all this, and I was thinking, at a time like this, what would Sakura do? You only get stronger by taking adversity by the horns.
Let's go, Ina.
Thorny path with enthusiasm. That sounds like something she'd say, right? No. I think that's definitely what she'd say, which is why yeah! I've made up my mind.
Et de deux.
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end.
I've decided.
By the way, the only reason
Is thanks to the air purifier.
say whatever you want.
If I die, the purifiers will. In other words, as soon as I die, the communal life you've all been living will come to an end.
Meh.
Lose hope now.
I don't care either way. I'm fine with whichever one is more interesting. Actually, I may not look like it, but I always hated school.
Oh mon dieu.
Still hate it.
J'ai tellement eu peur que ça bug. Oh my god.
No matter what, Master has to come along with us.
J'étais sûr que c'était fini.
We won't give up.
Oh.
As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end.
I've decided.
By the way, the only reason is thanks to the air. Say whatever you want. If I die, in other words, the communal life you've all. I can keep on living. All of you will have to.
You'll have to go into the world outside, where only death and despair are waiting.
Yes, on les a eu. Et toute la gang. Kyoko était blanche, fait qu'on n'a pas à shooter dessus.
What's the matter? You're not actually trying to encourage me, are you?
Oui, je t'encourage, mon cher.
Ridiculous. It never even crossed my mind that I might give in to despair. But don't misunderstand me. I couldn't care in the slightest what happens to you. I just have to keep my word. I swore I would end the life of the mastermind. Besides, the Togami family isn't dead, because I'm still alive.
Let's go, Byakuya.
So until I can restore the Togami family and bring it greater glory than it's ever known,
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope's Peak Academy.
I've decided to have faith in myself.
By the way, the air outside is totally polluted, you know. The only reason we're okay in here is thanks to the air purifiers in the physics lab.
Say whatever you want. I've made my decision.
If I die, the purifiers will screech to a halt. In other words, as soon as I die, the communal life you've all been living will come
Let's
to an
go.
end.
I can keep on living as long as I have my master's love.
All of you will have to leave. You'll have to go into the world outside, where only death and despair are waiting.
I already said I would claim the mastermind's life, by whatever means necessary.
So, what are you gonna do? Will you just die? Is that what you want?
Come on, Kyoko.
Don't lose hope now.
I didn't really know my father, so I can't pretend to know what he was thinking. But even if we're just connected by blood, there's one thing I am sure of. He would never want us to abandon Makoto and choose to stay here. I can't explain why exactly. But if I'm sure of anything, I'm sure of that. Just because we don't actually know anything, does that mean we can't understand?
Let's
Could
go.
it be that... No, never mind. So, Makoto, I don't think you wound up at this school because you had good luck or bad luck. I think you came here for a different reason entirely. You came here to bring down the ultimate despair. You came here to confront despair without ever giving up. And if that's true, I think we could call you the ultimate hope.
Oh.
What do you think?
What the hell are you?
Ultimate hope.
So uncool. Your stupid faces, the stupid things you've said, the stupid way you all treat each other. It's all so uncool, so unhip. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut
On va
up.
voir la dernière confrontation avec elle.
Lame.
I'm not any kind of feel it anything. Hope isn't a talent to develop, but I still. The moment of truth, that's it.
You suck.
So uncool. You dare to stand against us?
Hope is a joke. Who are you?
Your idiocy ends here.
You're gross.
Pas capable d'aller sur le beat.
I just love despair. You suck.
So uncool.
You're unbearable.
Hope is a joke. Who are you?
Trouve pas le mot du
Would you
beat.
like to die?
You're gross. Suffer from despair.
Oh my god.
Pointless. Suffer from despair.
I just love despair.
Suffer from despair.
Pourquoi ça marche pas?
No. You suck.
So uncool. You dare to stand against us?
Hope is a joke. Who are you?
Your idiocy ends here.
You're gross. Suffer from despair.
I just love despair.
You suck. So uncool.
You're unbearable.
Hope is a joke. Who are you?
Would you like to die?
You're gross. Suffer from despair.
Woo!
Despair into tomorrow.
Hope keeps on going. I refuse to give up. I refuse to get bored. I refuse to throw it all away. I refuse to despair. Because all I have going for me is the desire to keep moving forward.
What's going on? What's happening?
Et voilà. Et voilà. Nice.
It looks like we've reached the end. I think it may be time to vote.
We just gotta pull the lever, right?
Good. I'm ready to go.
Let's put an end to these trials. Put an end to the killing with our own hand.
Puis là, c'est juste Makoto qui vote pour, pour Despair.
The hell?
Indeed.
You've lost, Junko.
I lost?
I lost me? No way.
Well, that's just...
It can't be.
You
still don't accept it? Vinny's made Despair herself is vulnerable to the onslaught of despair, it was seen.
What the heck?
But there's no use trying to fight it now.
Well, that's just... totally the best! So this is despair.
We came to this school 2 years ago, created our incredibly detailed plan. I even killed my own sister for it.
And now I...
To come this far and fail at the very end.
True despair.
Is the most ultimate despair. What are you talking about?
And now I...
Don't you see? I was so hopelessly desperate. I was bored of the world the moment I was born. That's why I've been looking forward to this so desperately. This once-in-a-lifetime experience. It is my first and last colossal despair here at the moment of death. To have the chance to taste of the highest grade despair. The utter failure of my dreams.
Despair.
I am so hopelessly happy right now.
Huh?
Wait, is she enjoying this?
Anyway,
So are you prepared to admit defeat? You think I care whether I won or lost? Either way, it doesn't change a thing.
Totally the best!
Outside is only despair. Inside is only despair. No matter where you go, despair awaits you. That's not true.
Not possible.
You're wrong.
Don't make me repeat
Let me
myself.
tell you this right now. We no longer fear despair.
Okay.
Because we've decided to enter the outside world with hope. Yeah, Makoto totally seduced us over to his side. Hey everyone,
hey,
you said that despair is as contagious as a disease,
however,
but the same is true for hope. All you have to do is look at us to see how true that is. Kyoko,
No.
stop it, stop. I hate those faces you're making. To see those awful look cause me nothing but pain.
There's one last
Fine,
thing.
let me just say one last thing. If you guys wanna get all hung up on the word hope, that's no skin off my nose. But just be warned, From this point on, one despair after another will stand in your way, no matter where you run, no matter where you hide. Maybe you'll find some hope, but there is a very fine line dividing that hope from bitter despair, knowing that you still plan to cling on to your hope. Of course, because we...
It's fine, it's fine.
Shut up. That was a rhetorical question. You interrupt my monologue. I'm almost done, so whatever. Because it's almost punishment time, right?
It can't be.
You really intend to go through with this? That was the agreement, right? Hold on. It's not like I want you to die. You don't have to.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
What?
How many times do I have to tell you?
The act of living brings me no hope at all. All I want now is to taste the despair of death. That you only get once in life, so...
Don't get in my way!
Oh my god.
So this is how the despair of death feels. It's so wonderful! Even a tenth of this despair, even 100th. I want every last soul on this planet to taste such despair. I want the entire world to die with that despair in its mouth. Okay, let's do this. I've reserved an extra special punishment for last. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Qu'est-ce qu'elle va se faire? Elle va se pendre? Ça se peut pas. Non, ok, c'est ça, c'est ben trop... Man, c'est ben hardcore comme shit. Elle va se faire écraser de l'Ultimate Punishment. The 1,000 Blows. The Cage of Death. Elle les fait toutes. The Burning of the Personal Witch. Excavator Destroyer. Blast Off. What? After School Lesson. And that's how everything came to an end. The final class royale. Junko Enoshima, the ultimate despair. Life at Hope's Peak Academy. It was all over. The hell? Hey, quelque chose d'autre à dire en plus là? But even after saying it was all over, it's not like the building exploded or collapsed it on itself or anything. That wasn't the kind of ending waiting for us. Nothing changed. Well, with one exception, the air purifier turned off. Just like Junko said, they shut off immediately. That was the only difference. Goodbye, Despair High School. Okay. We left the courtroom and made our way to the main hall. We stood in front of the door. Nobody made a sound. I felt almost absent-minded. This was our epilogue before the final ending. We were stuck there in limbo, unmoving, unsure, but in the end...
Hey.
We can't just stand around like this forever. At some point we need to leave. Nobody's surprised it was Kyoko who broke the silence. Makoto, will you do the honors? Okay. As if awakened by Kyoko's words, I took out the object we've gotten. Up until the moment of her death, it had belonged to Junko. and in the end, she dropped it before us.
So,
But is that really it? Is that really the key to this door?
Indeed.
You don't have to read into what she said too much to find the answer.
If, on the other hand, you desire to see us punished, then you must all leave this place.
I will force you out, ensuring you all die horrible deaths in the outside world.
In other words,
I will force you out. She said that just before dropping that. It makes sense that it will be our way out of here. But you never know. Maybe it's actually a switch that's gonna make the school self-destruct. I mean, Junko never said specifically that she let us leave here alive.
it's true.
Can we be right about that? Maybe?
Yes.
But even so, it's impossible to think we wouldn't take our chances with it. Yeah, I guess that's true. There's nothing to worry about. If something ever happened to Masters, I'd take my scissor and jam them up so far. Hey, where's the closed room? Where's the mastermind? It's all over. We're just about to leave the school. What? Leave? We can go outside? Then that means that me and Master can get married, and then we'll give me a little jewel of a baby.
That's enough.
Please stop. That would be a greater horror than anything I've encountered so far.
Anyway,
don't worry. I have no doubt that we'll be able to live here without a problem.
but
It's what happened. It's what happened after we get out that I'm worried about. But you know, in the end, I think part of me still thinks
You're
maybe
serious?
when we get out there, we'll see that everything she said about the world was a lie. That on the other side of this door is a world as peaceful as we remember. A lie, peaceful as we remember. Well, no matter what it looks like, it's still our world. It's where we're meant to live. Yeah, I guess so. And how do I put this? Unlike this goal, the world is really big, right? Since it's so big, I'm sure there must be some despair no matter where. No matter what. But there also be lots of hope, right?
in other words,
The act of searching for hope, to try and find it, that by itself is the true meaning of hope. As long as you have that hope, you can keep moving forward, no matter what trouble you may fall into.
am I wrong?
Is that what you mean, Makoto? Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't need any of you to spell that out for me. You know, Junko mentioned that there were still others out there who hadn't cast away hope just yet. Maybe you should find them and make them work for me. To rebuild the world, we must first rebuild the Togami dynasty. I go with you. I'll follow you anywhere you want to go.
you got it.
Well, my first stop is gonna be the closest donut shop. I can figure out the rest of them there.
Hey.
Huh. And what are you gonna do if there are no more donut shop or donuts?
Okay.
I just get some flour and flour and make some myself. And if there's no flour, I just grow some wheat. What? I get it now. If there's no road, it's just gonna build one. Creation. Fate is telling me to remake the world.
Could it be?
That's my hope.
How about that?
I've reached the next stage. The next chapter of Yasuhiro Yakugare's life story is about to begin.
Whoa!
Thanks, Ina. You've totally opened my eyes. Hey, personal space, buddy. You're seriously creeping me out.
Makoto,
Come on, Makoto. Even if everyone in the outside world is gone, even if the world is steeped in despair, as long as I have people like you around, I can face forward and keep moving. If we can get out of it there and do something, have some sort of impact. But what can we do? There's so few of us and we're so small, so what can we do? No, we can probably do anything. Yeah, we can do anything. Et voila.
Well, I guess this is goodbye. And goodbye to Sakura. But hey, if we gotta say goodbye, we may as well do it with a smile on our face.
Hey guys! You guys want your fortunes told anywhere, anytime. You just let me know. I'll be there.
You know how much I hate being annoyed, but if something does come up, you may as well let me know. I can't guarantee I'll actually bother listening, but, you know.
I don't know why, but I have a burning desire to start writing. I might be able to pull it off. A story about Master and me, and the others, I guess.
I can't say I'm sorry about what happened, but still, it does feel kind of strange.
I really don't know what to say. I guess we graduated?
This looks like hope really is spreading. As long as I never give up, I have to push even harder. I'm going to keep moving forward with hope in my heart. Since I have hope, I can show courage. Since I have hope, I can move ahead. The world can move ahead. Let's go. The door began to open with my hands, with her hands. Hope and despair mingled together, opening the door to the future. Ah! Arrêtez beau! Qu'il se fasse mitrailler de là. Arrêtez n'importe quoi. Oh non, on saura même pas si le monde est vraiment détruit comme qu'elle dit. Damn it! Ça, c'est pas cool. Comment?
Interesting. Things are getting very interesting indeed. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not a teddy bear. I am Monokuma, and I am this school headmaster.
Oh, t'as pas le droit à toi. Est-ce que le monde est vraiment viré à l'envers, comme Junko nous l'a dit? Est-ce qu'on va apprendre tout ça dans le deuxième jeu? Tant de mystère encore à résoudre. Monokuma qui se relève à la fin. Oh my god! Ça a pris 60 épisodes pour finir ce jeu-là. J'espère que vous avez apprécié le tout. C'est sûr qu'il y a eu des moments hauts, des moments bas, tout au courant de tout cela, dans l'histoire et tout. Mais bon, on est là, on est tous ensemble. Et un gros merci à vous d'avoir pris le temps, votre temps, d'avoir écouté tout cela. C'est incroyable. Sur ce, je vous donne rendez-vous une autre fois pour une nouvelle série. Et probablement qu'on va faire Danganronpa le 2 ensemble. Je me rappelle plus comment il s'appelle. Goodbye Despair, je pense. Mais probablement qu'on va le faire ensemble pour avoir la suite de tous ces événements-là. Entre-temps, je vous souhaite une excellente fin de journée ou une excellente fin de soirée. Et je vous dis à la prochaine. Prenez soin de vous. Bye bye.